Every day, you are shaping your future with your words. When you speak success, you invite success. Say it. I am confident. I am focused. I am worthy of every goal I set. I attract opportunities. I take action with purpose. The more you affirm it, the more your life aligns with it. Success isn't a distant dream. It's a daily choice. Say these words every morning and watch your reality transform. Words have immense creative power. Every sentence you speak, especially about yourself, sends a signal to your subconscious mind. When you say, I can't do this, you're not just describing a moment, you're setting a limit. But when you say, I am capable, you invite growth. Success affirmations, when spoken with emotion and consistency, serve as powerful commands to the brain. They start to replace doubt with belief, fear with courage, and hesitation with clarity. The more you repeat empowering phrases, the more you begin to live out the energy of those words. The brain is like fertile soil. It doesn't judge what you plant, it simply nurtures the seeds. If you feed it negativity, that will grow. But if you feed it thoughts of success, confidence, and self-worth, that is what will flourish. Success affirmations work because they plant the seeds of your future reality. Your thoughts eventually become your emotions influence your actions, and your actions create your life. So by using daily affirmations, you are not just hoping for success, you are building it from the inside out. Consider this. Before anything becomes real in the physical world, it exists in the mind. Every skyscraper, every invention, every business, every life transformation started with a thought. That's how powerful your mental narrative is. When you affirm success, you're giving life to a vision that does not yet exist but will because you believe in it enough to speak it, and the more you speak it, the more it takes form. Your words carve a mental path that your body and behavior will naturally begin to follow. Another reason words matter is that they impact your energy and presence. When you consistently use language that reflects strength and possibility, people around you begin to respond to you differently. You walk taller, you speak with more conviction, your energy becomes magnetic. Without even realizing it, your affirmations start to influence not only your inner world, but how the world responds to you. You no longer wait for permission to succeed, you declare it and move forward with purpose. Finally, affirmations are a powerful tool for breaking free from old programming. Most of us have been told limiting things in the past. You're not smart enough. You're too late, or that's impossible. These beliefs stick unless we intentionally overwrite them. That's where affirmations come in. When you say, I am a success magnet, or I create opportunities effortlessly, you are not lying to yourself. You are choosing a new story. And in time, that story becomes your truth, because your words shape your reality. Belief doesn't happen overnight. It is built through repetition. The human brain learns through patterns and reinforcement. When you hear or say something repeatedly, especially with emotion, your subconscious begins to accept it as truth, even if it wasn't initially. That's why daily affirmations are so powerful. They aren't just words, they're mental training. Every single time you repeat a success affirmation, you are exercising a mental muscle. And just like building physical strength requires consistent workouts, building belief requires daily mental conditioning. At first, affirmations may feel forced or even uncomfortable. You might say, I am confident, while still feeling doubtful inside. But repetition is the key that bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. The more frequently you affirm something, the less resistance your mind will offer. Eventually, your brain accepts it as normal because it's heard it so many times. What was once foreign becomes familiar. This is why people who listen to or speak affirmations daily often experience noticeable mindset shifts after just a few weeks. It's not just about hearing the words, it's about feeling them, believing them, and letting them imprint deeply on your subconscious mind. Your mind absorbs most during the first few minutes after waking up and just before sleep. These moments are golden for planting seeds of belief. When you affirm, "I am unstoppable," or "success flows to me effortlessly," during these times, the message sinks in deeply, bypassing conscious resistance. Over time, your mind begins to look for evidence of these affirmations, and you start aligning your actions accordingly. Daily repetition of success affirmations also builds emotional resilience. Life throws challenges at everyone, but those who have programmed their minds with strength and belief are less likely to crumble. And when you've affirmed your worth, your value, and your abilities day after day, setbacks don't define you, they motivate you. Your mental foundation becomes unshakable. It's like wearing emotional armor. Repeating success affirmations each day is not a luxury. It's a necessity for anyone who wants to navigate life with strength and clarity. In a world filled with negativity, distraction, and doubt, affirmations act as a reset button. They remind you of who you really are, beyond the noise, beyond fear, and beyond the opinions of others. But the key is consistency. A single affirmation won't rewire your mind, just like one workout won't build muscle. But saying, "I am powerful," "I create my future," or "I attract abundance every day," that changes your internal dialogue. And when you change what you believe about yourself, you change what's possible in your life. Affirmations are not about wishful thinking, they're about activating your potential. When you repeatedly affirm success, confidence, and focus, you're not just talking to your subconscious, you're also nudging your conscious mind to act in ways that reflect those beliefs. If you say every day, "I am a high achiever," your brain starts to seek actions, choices, and environments that match that identity. You naturally begin to make better decisions, set clearer goals, and hold yourself to higher standards. Affirmations ignite an inner momentum that leads to outward change. One of the most misunderstood things about affirmations is the idea that they're passive. People assume that repeating words alone is enough, but in truth, affirmations work because they activate something deep within you. When you say, "I take bold action toward my dreams," you start to notice the moments where you're hesitating, and you begin to push through that hesitation. When you say, "I attract success with ease," your mind starts tuning into opportunities you may have previously ignored or doubted. The power of affirmations lies not in magic, but in the mindset shift that leads to aligned movement. Repetition of empowering statements brings your thoughts and actions into alignment. If you keep affirming that you're committed, responsible, and driven, you'll find yourself becoming more consistent and self-accountable. You might start waking up earlier, sticking to your plans, and pursuing goals with new energy. That's because affirmations don't just make you feel better, they make you act better. And it's those actions, repeated over time, that create the life you want. Your habits begin to reflect the beliefs you're affirming, and from there, transformation begins. Furthermore, affirmations fine-tune your internal compass. They help you filter out distractions and things that no longer serve you. Your purpose. When you affirm, "I am focused and intentional with my time," you become less likely to waste hours scrolling or procrastinating. You're subconsciously reminded of your purpose, your vision, and your goals. This creates a level of clarity and alignment that many people never experience. Affirmations guide your choices so that every step you take is closer to the version of yourself you're affirming daily. Over time, the cumulative effect of this alignment is incredible. You stop just saying you're successful. You start being successful in your thoughts, your habits, your routines, and your relationships. You attract opportunities because you're prepared for them. You become magnetic because your mindset, words, and actions are all speaking the same language. When affirmations are deeply believed and repeated daily, they don't just shift your energy, they shift your behavior. And behavior is the bridge between intention and results. One of the greatest battles we all face is the one inside our own minds. Inner criticism, those voices of doubt, fear, and negativity, can be relentless. They whisper things like, "You're not good enough," "You'll fail again," or "You're not smart or talented enough to succeed." These voices are often rooted in past experiences, limiting beliefs, or negative conditioning from childhood. They don't reflect reality, they reflect repetition. And that's exactly why affirmations are so powerful. They offer a new script, a better one, a conscious override of the old noise that keeps you small. When you speak affirmations like, "I am more than enough," or "I am worthy of success," you are not just saying words, you are standing up to the voice of fear. You are creating space between your present and your past. You are actively choosing to believe in your possibilities rather than your past limitations. Over time, affirmations become a form of emotional self-defense. Every time the inner critic rises up, the affirmations you've planted and repeated begin to take over. They become your new truth, the one that supports you instead of tearing you down. Think of it this way. Your inner critic is like an old, broken record on repeat. It's saying the same negative things over and over because it's what it has been taught to say. Affirmations are your way of replacing that broken record with a new one that speaks to your strength, your worth, and your power. At first, the old voice might try to overpower the new one. But if you keep showing up, keep repeating your affirmations, and keep believing in your growth, the critical voice begins to lose its volume. Eventually, it becomes background noise, no longer in control. What's even more powerful is that affirmations don't just quiet negative self-talk, they help you believe that you deserve better. Many people live under the weight of self-doubt and self-rejection, thinking that confidence and success are for other people. But when you affirm positive truths about yourself daily, your identity starts to shift. You begin to feel seen, supported, and strong from within. You no longer need validation from the outside world because you've built a foundation of belief internally. You become your own source of encouragement. Affirmations also train your emotional responses. When challenges arise, instead of spiraling into criticism and self-blame, your default response becomes resilience. Instead of, "I can't handle this," you think, "I've got this. I've done hard things before and I'll overcome this too." You begin to navigate life with a stronger mindset because you've nurtured a positive internal dialogue. You've created a mental environment that empowers you rather than limits you. And in doing so, you begin to show up as your highest, most confident, and most capable self, despite the noise that once held you back. Success doesn't begin with action, it begins with identity. The way you see yourself determines how you show up in the world. You can have big dreams, detailed vision boards, and perfect plans. But if your internal identity is rooted in fear, doubt, or unworthiness, those dreams will always feel out of reach. That's where affirmations come in. When you speak them daily, you aren't just motivating yourself. You are reprogramming who you believe you are. You are aligning your identity with your vision, which is the first and most critical step toward achieving real, lasting success. Affirmations help you bridge the gap between who you are now and who you are becoming. When you say, "I am a powerful creator," or "I am a successful entrepreneur," even if you aren't fully there yet, you are stepping into that version of yourself. You are rehearsing the mindset, the posture, the presence of your future self until it becomes familiar, until it feels real. This mental rehearsal is not imaginary, it's neurological. Your brain begins to wire itself as if the affirmation is already true, and then your habits, choices, and focus begin to mirror that internal blueprint. One of the key reasons affirmations work is because your brain does not distinguish well between vividly imagined reality and actual experience. So when you affirm success repeatedly, especially with emotion and conviction, your nervous system reacts as if you are already living that reality. This is why high performers, elite athletes, and top entrepreneurs often use visualization and affirmations together. They don't just prepare for success, they become success in their identity first, which in turn fuels their performance and persistence. The real transformation happens when the affirmations stop feeling like hopes and start feeling like truths. That shift is the moment your vision becomes your identity. You no longer have to force belief, it becomes natural. You wake up and carry yourself differently. You speak with clarity, walk with confidence, and make decisions that align with your higher self. You're no longer trying to get success. You are successful in how you think, how you respond to challenges, and how you pursue your goals. Affirmations lead you to embody the life you used to dream about. Most people don't fail because they lack ambition. They fail because their identity never upgraded to match their dreams. If you still see yourself as unlucky, average, or not enough, you will unconsciously sabotage opportunities that come your way. But with daily affirmations, you rewrite that story. You declare, I am worthy, I am ready, I am already successful. You shift from chasing your future to becoming the person who lives it. And once your identity aligns with your vision, success isn't just possible, it becomes inevitable. Success begins in the mind long before it shows up in your life. Every word you speak shapes your identity, strengthens your belief, and influences your actions. Let these affirmations be more than just background noise. Let them become the voice of your future self calling you forward. Repeat them daily. Believe them fully. Act on them boldly. Because the more you affirm your greatness, the more you live it. Your words are your power. Use them to rise.